All right, peace. Welcome to the third part of this training. First of all, art is how to duel with your cards. First of all, if you've got this far, I would like to commend you for your attention span being longer than mine. And yeah, all right. So now I'm gonna explain to you. Just do a little mock duel. We've already gone through monsters, spell, and trap, and now I'm just gonna go through basically some quick, a quick maybe a mock duel just to show you guys as an example. By the way, the anime show, Yu-Gi-Oh is actually, based off this card game. This game was, actually built off a little bit Magic the Gathering, but they tried to make, an anime version of it. But in doing so, they actually made it a more complicated, more, complex game. Very strategic, amazingly strategic and stuff like that. So again, you duel, you don't need these thingies. Both duelists start off with 8,000 life points, and we'll get into that in a second. But let me just quickly explain to you how a duel would start. So somehow, you and your opponent, so what you need, obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You need minimum of 40 to make a dueling deck. But yeah, in that you should have three types of cards: monsters, spell, and trap. And then blah blah blah, yeah. So monster, spell, and trap are the three generic types. You have your deck. Before you start the duel, you and your opponent, so you will need someone to play against. It's a two-player game. There's an interesting way to play with four people, team duel. But those rules are kind of, not official and stuff. But okay, so like I said, you need the cards. You don't need the field. You just need some clear place to play. You can play, and you probably, if you don't, you need a calculator or a piece of paper and pencil to do life points. We'll do life points in a second, but first let me just go through all this stuff, and we need all these little instructions here to remind us real quick. By the way I learned how to play is back in the day I used to play on the Game Boy. I played on the DS or Game Boy Advanced or something, some game, and it explained the rules really nicely. But alright, so yeah, you start off, you and your opponent, you figure out either rock, paper, scissors, toss a coin, or do something, and you figure out who goes first, you or me. So that's what you do. Or what you can do is this technique that me and my friends do is you look at the bottom card. Monster, the one with the higher monster stars wins. So the one with more stars, like you shuffle, before you start your duel, you shuffle your deck, right? So you shuffle, and then you and your opponent both show your bottom card, and whoever has the higher star, they go first. But that's just something we do. But monsters over spell, spell is over trap. So you shuffle your deck before the duel. You give it to your opponent. They cut it. They just minutely shuffle, because the whole point of the game is to draw your cards. And then you cut your opponent's dueling deck, and they cut yours. So they shuffle your cards and you shuffle theirs, and then either do rock, paper, scissors, or you do the bottom card. Whoever has a higher thing. Oh, in this case, my opponent has a 4-star and I have a trap here. So they decide who goes first. Let's just say, hypothetically, they say, okay, you kid, you lose your kid, you go first. So I'm like, okay, so they put their card in their deck zone, and you put yours on yours, and boom, you get started. Start of the turn, both you and your opponent draw 5 cards. Alrighty, I drew 5 cards. My pretend opponent over there drew his 5 cards. Alrighty, and then you start. That's the start. Okay, so first, draw phase. So like as I said over there, draw phase, you draw 1 card. Alright, so boom, start of the turn, I draw a card. And now it's after my draw phase. Standby phase you can skip, because that's basically when card effects, say something happens in your standby phase, or else just ignore that. So I drew, it's my turn. What should I do? Okay, this monster I cannot summon because he requires 2 tributes, because he's 7 to 8 stars. He's 2,700, 2 tributes. This monster again I cannot also summon because he requires a tribute. These are spell cards. I can save those. I can play those later. I have nothing to equip, and I have nothing to change of heart to take over. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this 1 card. So on the field, I'm going to set it face down. Oh, and I have this trap hole. I'm going to set that face down as well. And I set these 2 cards face down. And I end my turn. Then I have 4 cards in my hand. By the way, you have to end your turn with at least 6 cards in your hand, or else you have to discard. But alright, yeah, I set these 2 cards, and then I end my turn. And then my opponent would go, he'd draw his 5, whatever. He already did that. He played, let's just say hypothetically, he just he just summons this thing, and well, but he summons it, right? Then right there, he summoned a monster. I can rebuttal or whatever. I activate the trap hole, and this trap specific effect is if a monster over 1,000 is summoned, he gets to be destroyed. So boom, I destroy him. So then he sets a card face down, and he ends the turn. So it's my turn again. So that monster is still legit. Okay, I draw. Okay, nice. Now I can remember I said the whole point of the game is to attack your life points. The reason you even play monsters is because they're defending your life points of 8,000. So you guys understand how this. Now I'm going to show you how that was main phase. Last turn I just set a card in my main phase because the first turn you're not allowed to go into battle phase. But yeah, okay. So this turn I will. So this turn I drew my draw phase, right? And now I have a monster. Now what I'm going to do is my opponent only has one card face down and his field is empty. The whole point of playing monsters is to defend your life points. I'll get that into a second. So right now we are in main phase. I tribute this monster to summon the summoned skull. Alright. And this is in my main phase. So in my main phase I summon once. I could play magic and trap if I want to, but I will. So I equip him, play the spell card to equip summoned skull with Malevolent Nuzzler. So his attack points are 2,500 plus 700. So that puts him at, again, 3,200. And he does not have any monsters to attack. So I attack his life points directly with Summoned Skull. But then my opponent, he's attacking. Let me explain life points now. So right now I went from main phase, but when I attacked him, I went to battle phase. In battle phase, you choose, one monster can attack once only to one thing. If there's a monster, I could choose to attack the monster. But since he does not have any monsters, this is his graveyard, he does not have any monsters, so I'm attacking his life points directly. So you guys all understand this, battle phase and stuff like that. Let me erase that and show you life points now. But yeah, so that's the point of the game, and you keep going basically until there's a few ways you can win. When you win by either whoever runs out of cards first loses, but that rarely ever happens. But the whole point of the game is everyone has 8,000 life points, and whoever gets down to 0 first loses. So something that you can do, remember I said you need a piece of paper or a calculator or a pen or whatever, just to keep track of life points, right? So boom, you set it out. Me, and for right now, my imaginary friend Bob. I'm not doing nobody right now, but alright, so for example, you both start off with 8,000 life points. Honestly, I always just crash out these zeros because there's too many zeros here, but I would just say 80. So right now, I attacked Bob directly with Summoned Skull. Alright, so that is 3,200. So I would just subtract from Bob 3,200, whatever, I don't really care. But that puts him at, boom, puts him at 48. He has 4,800 life points. And you keep doing these, battles until whoever gets to 0 first loses. So that's how that works. And so you keep dueling. By the way, there's card effects that make you increase your life points. There's card effects that make you decrease. There's basically what you attack directly. But like for example, if so-and-so, their turn they draw, and if they put a monster in it. By the way, when a monster is in defense mode, watch right here. So Summon Skull attacks a monster in defense mode. You're in defense mode, so you do not lose any life points when you attack, because he's in defense mode, and boom, he just gets destroyed. But what I do is I would mark up my attack with his defense. So he set this card in his turn. This thing has 1,200 defense, and I have 32 attack. So boom, I just destroy him. But he does not lose any life points when a monster is in defense mode and destroyed. But if a monster is in attack mode and it's destroyed, you compare the attack points, and whoever has the higher attack points, they're the ones whoever has the lower attack points are destroyed, and the attack difference is what's subtracted from their life points. So yeah, that's how life points and stuff is. Now, so hopefully now you understand how to play dueling, and you keep dueling until the person who reaches 0 loses, And now I'm going to just go through some deck building strategies.